the Hunters Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hunters Talk. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hunters Talk. Yeah, let's have fun,
The
y'all.
Hunters Talk.
Yeah, the
Hunters
Hunters Talk.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Hunters Talk. Oh my God. I got to fire the production team. We ain't talking about masturbation
No,
tonight.
the hair team failed tonight. That's
No, we don't care about the hair team. We
do care about the hair
We-
team.
I mean, we ain't talking about masturbation tonight. I don't know why that was played. And then we start talking and we were muted. What is the deal? Y'all pray for us as we pray for you. I gotta find me a whole another production team. Oh my God. Well, anyway, how y'all doing? Hello.
People.
Hello, people. Welcome to the Hunters Talk.
Where we love to talk with you and
Not at you.
listen. We are so happy to be before you today. Listen, we get it. It's heavy today, but this is just a chance for us to have a little break. Thank you so much, Carol, for tuning in. You guys share the broadcast. Are we live on YouTube today?
Yeah, we live.
Oh.
We're on Periscope, YouTube,
Facebook.
Facebooker.
Come
Yeah,
on,
we are in the building. Yeah, y'all share this, and so we got some good stuff to talk about today.
Yes.
And some venting to go on today. Lady J has some venting.
Not too much.
But we're gonna talk about the rubber band effect.
Yes.
And you're gonna really love this. And so how's everybody doing? Let me just ask that. And I know y'all can't reply immediately, but if you can, if y'all don't be quiet, stop barking at people.
It's a lot going on.
We got Yorkies. They think they just run the whole
They do.
area, okay?
They do.
So anyway, hey, be quiet. Shh. So anyway, how's everybody doing? Just put it on the grid. If y'all can put that on the grid, just let us know that you're doing good through this whole pandemic situation of violence, injustice. Just let us know that you're doing okay. And if you need prayer for anything, please put it on the grid, and we want to pray for you later on tonight. Towards the end, and I get it, man. It's a lot of going on. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy. We see that they're painting Black Lives Matter on Capitol Hill right
which
now.
Which is awesome.
A mural. So that's pretty good. We're getting a Black Lives Matter mural. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's all good. So we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about tonight the rubber band effect.
Yup, for sure.
The rubber band effect, meaning I was supposed to have a rubber band with me, and I didn't get it, so please forgive me. But I wanted to show you. Everybody knows what a rubber band is and how it looks, right? So here's the thing with the rubber band effect. You know, with a rubber band, when you see it in its natural state, it just looks really puny and just wrinkled all up and just like ugh.
Lifeless.
Yeah, it's lifeless, right? Can you put them things in a cage?
Mm-mm.
Anyway, so so you see a rubber band. I like that. It just looks lifeless, like nothing. It can do nothing for you, right? But its greatest strength is when it's stretched.
Come on.
That's good. The rubber band's greatest strength is not when it's just sitting there looking puny and lifeless. Its greatest strength is when it's stretched.
Yep.
So the question is, how far are you willing to stretch for your relationship?
Yep.
In your marriage, in your dating, how far are you willing to stretch through the, and when it's stretched, that's pressure.
Yep.
So how are you willing to be pressured or be the pressure or be the one that wraps around, something that's needed? That's not fun.
You're going crazy. I know.
So,
come on, Papas. Sorry, you guys.
That's distracting. So like, are you willing to be the pressure? I just lost my train of thought. Are you willing? Can you help me?
Yes. Are you willing to be able to endure the pressure? Sometimes you're going to be in the pressure. Sometimes the pressure is going to be around you. He's going to go and tend to the dogs. Normally he's okay, but it's distracting today. But you know, we're talking about the rubber band effect. We're gonna go into the deep things of relationships, because I think that that's the one thing that we're experiencing a lot right now in our relationships is a whole lot of pressure. And the pressure is not necessarily all the time coming from within the four walls. Sometimes the pressure is coming outside. But we're going to talk about different points of pressure in a relationship that you may have not even thought about. And some things that you may have thought about, and you're just kind of like, I need to revisit that. One thing I will tell you with relationships, the one thing that you don't want to do is continue to allow relationship things that you haven't talked out, to just simply sit there and act like they don't exist. Not a good idea. That is a landmine waiting to happen, let me tell you, okay? So when you talk about relationships and you talk about the ability to be able to stretch, that's got to be a team effort. Because if one person is stretching and the other person isn't, that rubber band will break.
Yeah, absolutely. It will break.
It will break.
If you stretch it too much.
Yep.
And go beyond the pressure of what it's made to do. So let's talk about, what is the effect?
Yep.
What is the effect? Something that is produced by an agency or cause.
Yep.
Okay. Effect is something that is produced by an agency or cause. All right. And then stretched is to draw out or extend, or the lengthening, widen, or enlarge by tension. Number 3, there's 3 definitions to stretch. And the last one is to force beyond the normal or proper limits. And that's what we were just saying earlier. To be stretched beyond normal. Are you willing to be stretched beyond the normal?
Yeah.
Are you willing to limit how much you sacrifice, or are you willing to say, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice until this is right, until our relationship is where it needs to be? And a lot of time, a lot of us don't want to be the rubber band in a relationship. We want to be that tool, or that agent, or whatever that thing, the rubber band goes around.
We want to be kept safe by it.
Yeah, we want to be kept safe by it.
But we don't want to be the actual rubber band.
But we don't want to be the agent that's going to help hold it together.
Come on, that's good. Yeah.
So you have, so that's what we want to talk about. Are you willing to be the one that holds it together? Be the one that stretch. Be the one that stretch to the limit or the pressure.
Come on.
How many of us are willing to really go that far for your relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, really put that on the grid and say yes or no. I mean, are you really willing to go that far, or do you have limits?
Yep.
To your relationship, whether you're dating or you're married, or even work relationship? Are you willing to go the mile? Are you willing to endure the tension?
Yep, and go the distance.
And go the distance in a relationship.
Yeah.
So here's what causes the rubber band effect in relationships. What is that? What is it? What is it? What does it cause? What causes the rubber band effect?
Well, I mean, a lot of what happens in relationships, and listen, let's just take all the airs out right now, because when you talk about dealing with the rubber band effect in a relationship, you're talking about having two people that are fully invested. Let me say that is fully invested, because the rubber band effect is going to show how mature, how mature and how developed your relationship is.
Right.
Listen, when you are stretched, that's not easy. That doesn't always feel good. Come on.
Yeah.
Even when you're getting back into being flexible, I'm working out, and one thing I'm doing is making sure I stretch before I work out. That doesn't feel great, but the results are amazing, right? So it's the same thing in a relationship. And I think sometimes that we get so caught up in talking about the candy of a relationship, and sex is great and it's amazing, but who wants to have sex with somebody they don't even like? Right. Come on. Right. Who wants to have sex with someone they can't even do life with? Who wants to have sex with someone that can't even come on the same wavelength with you or have no understanding.
Well, yeah, let's go beyond sex. Let's not even talk about that. We can't. What about just being in the presence?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't like being in the presence of somebody that you're supposed to be dating or married to, sex is not going to even be an option.
That's true.
You're not going to even talk about that. You're not going to even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I always say this. I feel, from my experience, people that separate, divorce, or go their ways, it starts with, I don't like you anymore.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah. It starts with the I don't like you. And when you stop liking someone, then you're not willing to go the mile. You're not willing to you create limits. You create
it's true. Yeah.
Things that normally that wouldn't catch your attention. Now they catch your attention.
Yeah.
And you don't like it.
Because everything get on your nerves.
I don't like the way the ear look.
Right.
I don't like the way the hair is turned to the side.
Yeah.
Why is your toe so crusty? You know,
right.
Stuff that you've been knowing about that didn't bother you, now it bothers you.
Yeah.
You know, why you so big? Why you so skinny?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why you gotta slam the door when you
walk out?
Walk out or go in the cabinets. Like this little stuff that normally wouldn't bother you. But when you stop liking somebody, and that goes for somebody at work, when you stop liking somebody, pretty much the relationship is over.
The tolerance is different. Yeah,
it's definitely different. Because I know for me, in my past marriages, when I stopped liking who I was with, I was ready to go. Yeah. I didn't care. Definitely sex was not even on the table. Me wanting to be in the house. I was traveling, and the guys I was traveling with, the artists, I would be like, man, look, I'm gonna stay an extra day because I wasn't ready to go home. I didn't want to go home.
Wow.
Because I didn't like the person.
Yeah.
So I would pay extra on my plane ticket to stay a day later.
Yeah.
Then I would go home, and then when I got on the airplane and they said, "Oh yeah, you're arriving in Houston," I was like, "Oh my God!" I started dreading being at home in Houston.
Yeah.
You know,
it happened.
So that's that rubber band. I didn't want to be the tension. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to cover.
Come on.
At that point, I wanted to be covered.
Come on. You didn't want to stretch for that relationship.
I didn't want to stretch it at all. I did not want to stretch at all. And some of you are in that relationship right now. You're tired of stretching.
Yeah. And that's why I said at the beginning is that you got to be careful that you're not the only one stretching.
Right.
Come on. Now, listen, in this relationship, you got two rubber bands. Each person in the relationship represents a rubber band.
Yeah.
And you can't make the other person stretch out their elasticity because they will break.
Right.
If you're not there to help hold that tension, you can cause the other person to break. And I think that that's what happens a lot. I love what you brought up, Tez, about difference of opinions. Absolutely. But let me say this. I don't know why people got this misconception about differences of opinion. For some reason, people have taken differences of opinion to mean that I have to be disrespectful. And having a difference of opinion doesn't mean that there has to be disrespect involved. What it means is that we have to come on one accord. I always say this. If we disagree on ice cream flavors, you like vanilla, I like chocolate. That ain't a big deal. But there are weightier matters. I think sometimes in relationships, we want to disagree and cause big explosions over stuff like different ice cream flavors. Come on. You got to pick what in your relationship is going to have weight and what is not. Ice cream flavors don't have weight in our relationship. We just buy two different ice creams. Come on.
It does.
Come on.
It has weight because you can see it on me.
Well, that's it. But it don't have weight in how we relate and how we talk and how we listen. So we are just really conscious of the fact that there are some things in our relationship we don't make a big deal.
Right.
We just do not make it a big deal. Listen, and that's part of that rubber band effect, babe. It really is, because you've got to discuss preferences and differences in your relationship and how you handle them. And you have to decide what weight they're going to have. So, like I said, difference of restaurant, what you want to eat one night. One night we eat what you want to eat. The next night we eat what I want to eat. There's more than one day in the week, right? There's 7.
Right. But you know what causes the tension in when you're talking about restaurants or picking is being indecisive.
Sometimes I can.
Okay, so all right. Good example, you guys. And I know a lot of us have dealt with this. What do you want to go eat?
I don't know.
I don't care. I don't know. Whatever you want. Okay. I want to go to McDonald's.
I don't want that.
I don't like that.
At that.
Okay. Well, where you want to go? Wherever you want to go.
Where you want to go? Yeah.
The tension's already starting right there. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go to Church of Chicken. Nah, I don't want that. Every suggestion that is made, the person is like, no, rejection. There's the word. Rejection causes tension.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so here's the thing. Okay, you don't know where you want to go, and you don't want to go where I want to go.
Yeah.
So here's the tension that comes in. Who's going to be the rubber band at that moment?
Come on. Yeah.
Who's going to step up and say, okay, let me be the rubber band.
Let me stretch for this.
Let me stretch.
That's good, baby. Come on, baby. Let me stretch.
Let me stretch for this.
Let me stretch. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure that out because something that small creates something so big.
It does.
It creates a stupid, crazy, colossal argument. Yeah. And since we're talking about social distancing, it creates a distancing for real.
Yeah.
It's like, this woman is getting on my freaking everlasting nerve. This man, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a pastor, so I can't say what it came to my mind. I got to keep my mind right.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that, Jay, that causes the tension.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out how to handle that.
Yeah. But I always say the reason why, you talked about turning into a colossal fight. Yeah. The reason why sometimes it turns into that colossal fight is because we haven't dealt with how we're going to deal with stuff. And BK, I would love to say solve problems before they happen, but that's not realistic. When you have a relationship, I do agree, but let me say this. I do agree that some problems can be solved before they happen, but I think that the solving of the problem before it happens with the attitude and the willingness to stretch, to be that rubber band. And I love what Taz said, 2 different people brought up in 2 different households, live together under one roof, you will have a difference of opinion. Absolutely. Listen, let me say this. The object of a relationship is not to have a relationship in which it's total perfection, because perfection does mean flawless, but it also means mature. So yes, we want you to have a perfectly mature relationship, not a perfectly flawless relationship. You hear what I'm saying on today? Have a relationship to where you can talk out differences and everything doesn't end in, do you want to get a divorce? I want a divorce. That was Pastor's biggest go-to when we first got married. I was like, if this dude mentioned divorce one more time, I'm going to give him what he wants. Say it again. I mean, he would just get upset. We would have an argument when we first got married, and he'd be like, we can get a divorce. I'd be like, I remember him saying that the first time. It broke me. Like, I was weeping. I was like, that was the most hurtful thing you could say to somebody who, number one, their first marriage failed because of divorce and because they felt rejected. I just felt like him saying that to me was the most devastating thing, because for me, if you can talk about it, you've already thought about it.
That's pretty good.
If you can talk about it, you've already thought about it.
Y'all write that down.
Come on.
If you can talk about it, you've already thought about it.
Okay.
Because that's good, because in order to talk, you got to think first.
Yeah.
So how do you identify the problem first?
Well, this is the thing. The problem.
Think about it.
Okay. Yeah. But and my thing was, and I'm gonna go back to that. Don't let me forget to go back to Taz's question. But my thing was, dang, dude, like, you ain't got no weather strip in you. Like, you can't weather nothing. The first thing is divorce. I was like,
yeah, I wasn't ready at that time. I wasn't ready to be a rubber band.
That's good, babe.
Because if you think about it, think about the word husband.
Yeah.
I know this is not Bible study, so I'm not going to get into that scripture or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you look the word up, husband, and dissect the word husband.
Mm-hmm.
Band, the suffix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Band.
That's good.
Rubber band.
Yeah.
Something that holds something together.
Yeah.
As men, let me talk to you men. We have to be able to be the man that holds things together.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. We have to learn to be that glue.
Mm-hmm.
We have to learn to be the rubber band when we don't want to be the rubber band, because guess what? It's tension and we're starting to not like the person. But if you married the person, you got to learn to work it out.
Yeah.
That's what rubber band or husband or just the word band looks like. What is a band? Well, we can talk about music. It's many parts, many sounds, many instruments in one sound.
Yeah.
It's harmony.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's harmony.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I just got that. Band is harmony. We, as men, we are responsible for harmony. Okay.
Well, just as much as the woman is too.
Absolutely.
And that's why I say that this rubber band effect is for everybody. You know, what causes differences? Taz said the first one. 2 different people being brought up in 2 different households. But you know what? That doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing. I could take a little bit from you, take a little bit from me, and make a whole new thing.
Right.
And that's what families forget to do when they come together. You know, we forget sometimes that we can create something new. Nothing ever has to say the exact same.
Right.
Babe, what worked for you? Okay, that worked for you. What didn't work for you? Okay, that didn't work for you. Okay, so do you like that? All right, then. Well, what do you like? Okay, well, I like that. Okay, well, why you like that? Okay, well, how that look for us? Because even what you like may look different for you than it did for your mom and your dad.
Absolutely.
Don't be so inflexible. Listen, this relationship thing can be so freaking fun. I tell my husband all the time, it could be so fun. It could be a fantasy. It could be like little plum fairies dancing in your head. It really can be like that. Babe, don't play me. It can be like that, but listen, you gotta work hard for that harmony. And
you said plums and berries.
That dancing in your head like a Christmas dinner every day.
That's like somebody got mental.
But I'm just saying, but babe, would you agree that this is, because you said this is the best marriage that you've been in?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Do we have arguments?
Absolutely.
Do we have big arguments?
Yes, we do.
Did you have big arguments before in your past marriages?
Yes, I did.
What makes it different in our marriage than it was in the marriages that you were in? What makes our arguments so surpassable, so deal-with-able that you're able to endure it now before that you weren't? Well,
it's what Brother Taz just said.
What?
I now have a willing spirit.
Okay.
I have a willing. I have a want to.
Okay.
I have a let's try to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
I have a I'm tired because I don't want to get married again.
Right. Well, is that it? Because you know what? If you don't want to get married again, that isn't a good motivation.
Well, no. Yes, it is. But I mentioned other things, so let's not focus on that one little thing I just said. But that's just something that helps. Because I don't want to go through it. It's somebody, I don't know who song the song. It's cheaper to keep it. It's cheaper to keep it. But no, seriously, to go through learning somebody else and getting to know them and to build that trust and that hope, that's just a lot of work, especially in this time. And there's a lot of other stuff going on that we need to be focusing on. So, that's part of it. But my main thing is because I have a willing heart. I didn't really have a willing heart.
Right.
And then you said why?
No.
Oh, and then back then I had a little pride going on too. When you have pride says, I want to do how I want to do it. It's called my way. And I'm not willing to listen and participate and try to make this better.
Well, I will say definitely one thing that I'm surprised he didn't say that he always says is that in our marriage, we have lots of fun and we know how to laugh at each other and we know how to laugh and not take ourselves so seriously. And I think that that's come through us realizing, both coming from previous marriages and both of us realizing what's important sometimes and what's not. is that argument really a deal breaker? Probably not. You know, how much weight, like I said, are we putting on that argument?
Right.
It shouldn't bear the weight of our marriage. It shouldn't determine whether we stay together or not, whether you like vanilla ice cream and I like chocolate. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But for things that are weightier matters, you know, that we need to discuss, it may be something that we need to say, hey, we need to pick this apart. And I think that sometimes, I love that, Taz, that you do have to be willing, but I think the other part is not just the willingness. I love what you said about having the heart, but you know what you also got to have? The patience.
Absolutely.
You got to have the patience.
Gotta have the patience.
Because if we wouldn't have had the patience, we wouldn't have made it to this. What you see now would have never been if we wouldn't have had the patience for one another.
Well, not only just let me add to the patience, because this is another thing that causes tension in relationships, being disrespected.
Yeah, that's true.
See, when you respect somebody, then you have the willingness to be patient.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. When you respect the person that you're talking to,
that's true.
Then you have a willing spirit, a willing heart to be patient with that person.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't respect who we with.
That's true.
And because of that, the impatience
kicks in.
Kicks in I'm not really willing to.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Maybe not respect for the person. Let me say respect for the relationship.
I say both.
Respect for the relationship.
And the person.
And the person. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me lean on more on the relationship. I respect my relationship. You know, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You're not perfect. But we have to learn to be respect the relationship. You know, and as Taz said, in order to respect a relationship and have patience, you got to be humble. I like that, sir. You have to be humble.
Yeah.
So it goes back to that word pride.
Yeah.
Pride is a big thing. It's a killer for a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
It kills a lot of things. It just disrupts
yeah.
a lot of things. Pride. You know, something else that causes tension is being challenged. Being challenged.
Yeah.
You know, are you willing to be challenged, even to be stretched? Are you willing to be challenged to be the rubber band, to be the one that holds it together until that person can get it right?
And you know what? I got a great example of that. I would always, me and Alan, when we first got together, would have a little argument. And I can remember one day I was folding his clothes, and he was like, "Why you folding my clothes?" I was like, "Because I just got out the dryer."
You get your new example.
And he was like, "But but why are you folding my clothes? You upset with me?" I was like, "Okay, I'm upset with you, but I still take care of you." And that's one thing, that's one precedent that I always said in my relationship, that no matter how upset we were with one another, we would always take care of one another. Like that would always be the thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that people in relationships have forgotten that just because you're in an argument doesn't mean that abdicates you from all of your responsibilities in the relationship. And I think it's a good thing that couples make boundaries about what's not going to happen. If I get mad at you, this is the one thing I talk about with Alan. If I get mad at you, you don't not get me something to eat at the restaurant. You better pick me something up. Like, I don't care. I don't care if you're mad. You may not want to call me. You know what I like. Get what I like. But we don't not take care of each other because we're upset.
Don't not. Okay. But here's the thing, and that's good. But also answer the phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm like this. I don't like wasting money. So don't let me get you something to eat and I come home like, oh, I already ate. I'm not hungry. I'm going to be pissed.
But there's always lunch.
It don't matter. It's the fact that I brought it home. You need to eat it now. Because everybody don't like to eat warmed up. I'm just messing with you. I just want y'all to laugh. But yeah, that's really good. I like that. That's good. That's good.
I mean, you just need to know. And like you said, Taz says, that's how I am with my wife. I get mad, but I still make sure she has some dinner and serve her. Absolutely, you got to. And that should stay a boundary. That should stay a boundary. You don't ever not do that. Like, no matter what you do and no matter what you say, that's your safe zone. You take care of one another. Because there's nothing worse than being in a relationship and feeling like you're not protected. There's nothing worse than that. And I like what BK say, it's not about winning and losing an argument. It's about because the two become one. I agree, but you got to work up to that realization in a relationship sometimes. And I think that in a relationship, you go through different degrees of that, of being willing, of it's not about winning or losing an argument. It's not about who's right and who's wrong right now. Like, you go through stages of that in a relationship. Okay, and so we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some different challenges about being on the rubber band effect. Y'all stay with us. We're just going to take a commercial break and then we're going to come back.
Yeah, so don't leave.
Don't leave.
Don't leave. We'll be right back. Give us about a minute. Go some water down. Don't leave. Okay. Yes. Listen, everybody is made in the image of God.
Yes.
God does not see color. God sees black and white. Well, the only color he sees is red. That's the blood of Jesus. This ain't Bible study, so I'm not going to get too deep into that, but just know, everybody, let's begin to love one another. I teach people we have to learn to, at times, love the hell out of people. So a lot of people who are walking around angry, bitter, upset, because most of the time they have not had the right loving. Just like in this relationship, you meet somebody and they just tore up because what has happened in the past. When I met her, she was tore up, and I had to learn to love the hell out of her because she had something in her. Right? So versus getting upset and saying, okay, we'll get divorced, I'm gonna walk out. God had taught me a whole another kind of way to love her through what she's been through.
Yeah.
What she's experienced.
Yeah.
Right? So people, I just want to tell you, learn to love the hell out of people. Don't be so quick to leave them, beat them up, talk about them, throw them to the curb. Find out the root. Why are you like that? What happened? Trauma is somewhere up in there.
Yeah.
Drama is somewhere up in there, right? Amen. So, Taz, I want to ask you a question, sir. You said men are always wrong. Can you explain to me? I wish I could bring you on here. Why did you say that? Maybe you said it as a joke, because I don't think we're always wrong. Sometimes we are. Sometimes we are. But expound on why you said that, Taz. I would like to know why you feel that way, because I don't feel like that. Not all the time. Okay, so let's get back into what we were talking about. For everybody that's just joining in, we're talking about the rubber band effect. And the rubber band effect, meaning, we explained the rubber band being a little puny, lifeless little thing when you see it just laying there, just all shriveled up, but it does not become powerful until it's stretched.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question is, how are you willing to be stretched? How far will you go for your relationship? Will you stretch for your relationship to make it work, to make it be successful? Will you be that rubber band? Okay, or do you want to be the one that's being held or held together by the rubber band? Okay, so cool. Let's go to the next. What we were talking about. What?
Yeah. So what I was saying. So we talked about a couple of things that causes us to stretch. Different preferences. We talked about that. We hit on being disrespected, being challenged, having to come outside of our comfort zone in relationships. Bank accounts, whether they're joint or separate. That's a whole nother way to be stretched in a relationship. Pastor and I have just decided that we would have one account that we pay bills out of. That's joint. And then we have 2 separate accounts that are our own.
Yeah, stay out my money.
So that's how we do it. We don't even add to any confusion. Everything, every bill goes into, the money goes into one account. We decided that a certain amount is free money from certain checks, and certain amount to pay all the bills. And so we keep it very, very even and very fair. So no one ever feels like they're doing over the amount, and no one ever feels like, hey, that's not right. So if your check is going to be doing the free money at the time, and your check is going to be doing the paying of the bills, everybody should be covered, right? And that's how we feel. So it keeps a lot of confusion down, right? Sudden change sometimes. Listen, this is something you need to discuss as a couple, especially if you're 40 plus. This is so important. Hear me. Sudden changes causes lots of strain on a relationship. You need to be discussing, is it okay for your parents to come live with you if something happens? Is it okay for your children to come live with you if something happens? Listen, this rubber band effect can get really deep really quickly. These are things we need to be discussing. Do not wait until life happens for you to discuss this. If they can't come live with you, will you publish them a hotel? Okay, how long will it work? Are you the child that's going to have to take the parents? What's going to happen? Those are things that you need to discuss before. You need to discuss it before it happens.
Right.
Loss materially, how you going to handle that, right? If one of y'all become physically disabled, have you thought about that? What if one of y'all are able to have sex and the other one can't?
That's a good question.
Come on, we're talking about the rubber band effect. How far are you willing to be stretched in your relationship?
Are you ready? Are you willing to get a rubber?
Come on. Are you ready to do a dildo? I mean, what will you?
A rubber thing?
Yeah, come on. Like, that's real talk. Like, in your relationship.
Oh, no good.
Like, real talk. Like, you have to decide what you're going to be willing to do and how far you're willing to be stretched. Because if you don't know now, when the real stuff hits, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
Gonna hurt.
That rubber band's going to pop, or it's going to snap back and hit you, and it's going to hurt. So I'm telling you now, discuss sudden change in your relationship. Parents coming to live with you. Children coming to live with you. Loss of material possessions. Physical disability. Come on, you need to discuss those things. And so Tess Bryant had a comment. No need to argue. If my wife is wrong, she's right. I will never correct her in front of anyone and will stand by her side. That's a good rule of thumb. Will you correct your spouse in front of somebody else? Is that disrespectful to do? Or is it how you do it? I don't know. But we will talk to her when it's just us. But we'll talk to her when it's just us and let her know how or what I feel. Now, if she don't agree with what I say, then so be it. That's a good rule of thumb. That's a good attitude to have.
That's a good effect to have.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a good. Now that's being a rubber band. You're holding something together.
Yep.
Remember, we're talking about the rubber band effect.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great effect, Taz. That you're being the band of the relationship.
Yep.
So I like that. A lot of us men need to do that. Let's not embarrass
Or what? Yeah.
our mate.
Yeah.
Or even if you're in a relationship, dating, let's not do that. Don't even embarrass your business partner.
Yeah. Come on.
Talk about that behind the doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way you can really talk. I know for me, I can't talk the way I want to talk if I'm in front of people. Because as a man of God, there's an image I have to keep. But when I'm at home, I can just go ahead and let my hair down a little bit. Not saying being disrespectful, but to say, man, now look at here. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So that's what I like that, Taz. That's really good. That's really good. I want to give you kudos for that. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of men need to learn to do that. And women.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes women can pop off.
Yeah.
In the spur of the moment and forget where they're at and embarrass the man or demasculate the man by making him feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that causes another type of tension. Here it is again. I don't like you. And now you have this guy not liking you or this woman because you embarrassed them, which is another form of rejection.
It's so funny to me about men. Men are funny to me. Being with Alan has taught me how you think women can be petty. Men can be petty.
Don't you? I ain't petty.
Listen to what I'm.
Here we go.
Listen.
Here we go. Cash. Here we go. Brother.
Listen, let me tell you though. Men are just as sensitive as women.
Accurate.
And that's okay. So what I'm telling you is that men are sensitive.
Well, we got feelings too. See, here we go. We finna go to something else. See, that's the problem. A lot of women don't believe or want to receive that men have feelings too. Ain't nothing funny, gay about that. Yeah. Men, you got feelings, express your feelings.
Yeah.
Emotions. And nothing wrong with somebody say a real man don't cry. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we cry. Yes. And we hurt.
And look, Taz says, I'm petty king. Men are petty. Listen. Okay, that whole connotation, that whole verbiage that he gave about I won't like you because you make me feel demasculated. Men won't like you. If you hurt my feelings, I won't like you. Like that whole verbiage, that whole I don't like you part, I don't like you, when you. As a woman, I've never thought about my partner like that. Listen hear me right so you won't hear me wrong.
Well, say it right so we won't hear you wrong.
Before getting with Alan, I did not know there were such landmines around hurt feelings. I didn't know everything could be so on the road to being permanent. With women, we don't normally think like that.
You don't think like what?
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Give me a second.
Here we go.
No, we get mad and we get upset, but our thinking isn't I automatically don't like him. It's just that he made me upset. That's it.
And you talk about, and you don't hold on permanent.
Hold on. No.
Yes, you did.
No, we don't go to the permanent status on the way to being permanent. I don't like you. Because when you say I don't like you, that to me is such a permanent thing. When I say I don't like somebody, I don't like them. I really don't like them.
But that can change because that person
for men, right? But that's the difference. I'm telling you, we don't think in that we don't think in that way. When we get upset and men do something we don't like, we just think we're mad at you. That whole I don't like you part doesn't really come into play unless you've really done something lots of times very hurtful. So men are very sensitive, and he's telling you, I'm looking at Taz and I'm looking at him. I'm telling you that whole I don't like you and you got to always come back from I don't like. That's a lot of darn word. We don't even get there in our mind as women. I don't like. That's just we don't go there.
But that whole stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm
all men are dogs.
No.
because y'all holding something that happened to you 20 years ago,
right?
And you saying because
that can happen
because of one guy that screwed it up, now all the guys are screwed up.
That's true. That's something that we do. I agree with you.
Now that's petty.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying that particular part of it is so harsh to me. So it's just that whole thing with women and with men, I'm just showing you the fragility. Men think differently about it than we do.
Is that a word, fragility?
Yeah.
Fragility?
Fragility. Yeah.
Oh.
So that whole thing, that the way that men think, you know, and just like men, see how men go to compare to make sure they don't lose no edge. I wouldn't even go in there. I'm just like when you were talking about, but women get petty too. See what I'm talking about?
Well, y'all need to be reminded.
Men do, but
y'all need to be reminded that y'all get petty too. Just like y'all remind us.
That wasn't even the point.
But it's my point.
Okay.
It's my point.
But see, that's how.
See, now being disrespected. We got feelings. We emotional.
Oh God.
And I'm getting emotional.
It's true. They get emotional. I'm just saying, as women, we just don't certain things. That's why I'm talking about boundaries in a relationship. Yeah, you know, and that this is a good demonstration of that. You know, be careful how you let yourself feel when you get upset. That's just a good rule of thumb. I'm very careful about how I feel about my husband when I get upset, because the enemy, especially in marriages, are quick to bring discord. Mm-hmm. And he'll make that little minor thing seem like, oh my God, it's so big, I got to get a divorce. I'm very careful about what I think about when I get angry. And I think that that's one thing that we as couples have to do. We got to be careful what we think about when we get angry.
Yes.
And as business partners, you know, you've also got to be careful of that as well. It is so important, just like a relationship, as a business partner, you've got to go into a relationship knowing that you're going to have to bend sometimes, knowing you're not going to be right all the time.
Right.
And knowing you're going to be wrong sometimes.
Right.
Come on, because nobody has everything all right, all wrong all the time.
Well, let me be petty real quick. Why is it that you have more room on your side and I'm pretty much out of the picture?
It's just how you sit.
I'm just saying. Why is it that you got more room? Put your arm up. You got more room. See me? You can't see my arm.
Oh.
Why do you have more room?
I don't know, babe.
Are you hogging the camera?
Nope.
I just want to have a petty moment. It's the Hunter's Talk. It don't say Lady J by itself. It's the y'all share this, man. We're almost through, but yeah. Oh my God, I just wanted to laugh. Okay, that's all. That's all I want to do. Why are you about to cry, Taz? What's wrong?
Listen,
bro?
We're gonna take a break real quick.
No, we ain't take no more break.
We ain't taking no more break.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You want to take a break?
No,
we just take a break.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey,
we almost done.
Okay. Well, listen.
We got people listening to your record.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. God is good all the time, and that's what I got to come back with sometimes. Listen, let me go over this real quick, you guys, and we're gonna go ahead and end it. Let me say this. Why is the rubber band effect so needed? It's needed for a couple of different reasons. You guys, we kind of talked about it, but you're going to have to be willing to stretch in your relationship.
That's good.
And listen, if you find out, real talk, that you're having problems stretching, check your pride at the door and check your privilege at the door.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we keep talking about white privilege, but sometimes there's such thing called relationship privilege.
Ooh,
and what you've been allowed to do in this relationship may not be okay like it was in the last relationship. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope I didn't say that in reverse. Sound like I say that crazy. But in this relationship, the rules may need to be different. And you've got to consider what your partner has been through before they got with you.
Yeah.
Don't just think about your partner and think about, oh my God, this is what I'm doing. You got to think about what they've been through before they got with you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, especially to the degree that they're healed.
Yeah.
Because if they aren't, you know, if they on level 3 of healing, you're going to have to do a lot of forecasting before you do something, because you never know that what you're doing may trigger something that happened to them in their past.
That's good. Triggers. Yeah.
So you're going to have to be very considerate of that. You know what I'm saying? I consider myself to be, and I'm not going to even ask him, but I consider myself to be a very good partner in a relationship. Because one thing about me is that I have internally in me, just me, it doesn't even have anything to do with him. Just within me, I have really hard rules about how I won't treat my partner. I will not disrespect my husband.
That's true.
I don't do that. I don't even do that behind closed doors.
That's true.
If I yell at him, I'm upset. I'm upset to the point of I'm pissed to the highest of festivity.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I'm upset and I gotta pull away. I don't cuss my husband out. I don't do that.
Nope.
I don't do that. I don't use cuss words. I don't even use harsh words to describe my husband. And I'm very careful of even allowing my thoughts to go there. See, what I'm trying to describe to you is that even though in the relationship you can have hard rules, you got to have hard rules within you as an individual.
That's good. Yep.
I have morals and ethics about me. A relationship is just as much about word of mouth as it is about the example.
Right.
And I want his word of mouth about me to be honest. I don't want him to have to lie, and I don't want him to have to fabricate. So I try to make sure that who I am, Jay, I am doing right by him so that he can have something positive to talk about. Then you know what that does? It stops all the craziness when we're not together. So all that insecurity, we don't even have to do that. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, as relationship people, we got to start teaching that. It's not just about what the relationship would tolerate. It's about what you won't tolerate. You make up the relationship. So you get to set the rules and how your relationship is dealt with. And how do you handle that person? I don't treat my husband like that. I don't put my hands on him. Ask him, I don't hit him.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
She hits me.
Joking on the butt. But so far it's just a hard hit. No, I'm not going to do that. That's just not who I am. I'm not going to embarrass him purposely. I don't operate that way. So do you get what I'm saying? It's something I've had to learn though. It's something I've had to learn, but those are just hard rules that I set within me. So that way, when we come together, it ain't hard to respect him because I already respect myself. Come on, somebody. It ain't hard to respect us because I respect me. Come on. So we got to get to that point in relationships. We're not putting all the weight on him to be perfect and don't cheat and don't do this. I don't put all that weight on him. I do take responsibility for who I am in this relationship. Amen?
Amen. That's very good. And just know the rubber band effect is needed because it helps strengthen your character.
Yeah.
When the pressure, it helps strengthens your character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, the rubber band is not strengthened until it's stretched.
Mm-hmm.
Before then, it's this puny little thing, wrinkled all up. But the strength comes in when it's stretched.
Mm-hmm.
The value comes in when it's stretched. So when you're stretched, it gives you strength. So don't trip about the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Don't trip about the stretch. And also, the rubber band effect prohibits stagnancy.
Mm-hmm.
You see a rubber band sitting on the table, just sitting there. I don't know about you. When I see a rubber band just sitting around, I like to pick it up and play with it.
Yeah. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how your relationship should be. You should know to pick it up and play with it.
Come on.
Woo, that was good. Sometimes you got to pick your relationship and just play with it.
Come on, test it.
Play with it. Yeah. Don't put it around your finger and just have fun with it. It's okay.
That's good.
It's okay. It teaches you to be mature too. Mature.
Yeah.
And responsible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of us in relationships are not having in these times.
Mm-hmm.
We're not having responsibility or accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So just crazy things happen. To God be the glory. So I want you to understand that, okay?
Yep.
We love you so very much.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Just this one last thing.
And
In relationships, be self-aware. Sorry. Go ahead.
Self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. Explain that.
Yeah. Self-aware.
Explain that.
I think what ends up happening is that you know, okay, I'll let Alan answer that question. Okay.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Let me say this in terms of being self-aware. Listen, we all know who we are before we got in a relationship. We all know our propensity to act a fool. We all know what our, you know, when we get mad, what we do. We all know when we happy, what we do. We all know when we have a lot of money, what we do. Stop getting in these relationships and your partner is telling you something about yourself that you know is true, but you acting like it's not. Right? You've got to be self-aware. You got to know sometimes your shortfalls, and you got to know the part of the relationship where you're strong, your weaknesses and your strengths. It's not bad to have somebody point something out to you that you need to change. Listen, when done respectfully, it can be a very beneficial thing. So just learn to be very self-aware. You know who you are. You know, don't act like that one thing doesn't happen. Don't act like that person is hearing things or seeing things. If it needs to be changed, if it needs to be fixed, discuss it, work through it, but don't act like it's not there. Be self-aware.
That's good. Antoinette says this: how do you show you're in love with your mate? How do you show you're in love with your mate? Okay, so here's the answer to that. Do what you did prior, before the mate became your mate. I'll say it again. Do what you did prior, before your mate became your mate. Because now that your mate is your mate, is because you showed them some type of attention. You showed them that you were really interested in them for life. Not just for a little season, but for life. I need some hearts right there. That's good. You need to continue. How do you show your mate that you're in love? Still, do what you did to get them and do more of it. Here's the word: consistency. Remember, we just talked about the rubber band effect helps you not to be, it prohibits stagnancy. A lot of times when people feel the love being out of love, it's because it's stagnant. Because you're stagnant. You get frustrated when you're just standing still and you want to do something, but you feel like you can't go nowhere. It causes frustration. Okay? So learn to continue. Learn to be active. Do what you did. Hope that answered your question. You said, how do you show interest? How do you show interest?
I would say it's good. I think what Taz says is good. Attention. That's the number one thing that came to my mind. Attention. How do you show interest to your mate? Attention. You know, we like to be focused on. And then I would say, you know, this goes into the attention category. Make special time.
Yeah, that's good. How do you show interest? Make time. I love that. That's really good, Jake. Make time. Because it shows the person, hey, you know what? This person really likes me. Once again, the moment you stop liking the person that you're with, the moment that relationship is done. Capiche? It's over. So continue to do things that shows you like them. When that person feels that they're liked, then the in love will fall right in the lap. It will fall right in place. So continue to like them. Taz says this: always find time to date. And that's something that my wife and I are having to work on and get back with, is to find date the person that you're with. Don't stop dating. Remember what I said. Whatever you did to get their attention for them to become your mate, continue to do that. and do more of it. When I had a car, when we before we went through our drought, I will open the car door for my wife. That got her attention. Yes or no?
Yes.
Huh? I open the door. Even today, when we go out places, I slap her hands and say, "Hey, don't open that door. That's my responsibility." That's the interest. Whatever I did to get her attention, to make her fall in love with me, I must continue to keep doing it. Or else she's going to begin to feel that I'm not interested in her anymore. Because I'm not doing what I did, I'm not doing what I did to get her attention. I hope I'm helping you, Antoinette. I hope this is good for you. And that's real talk. That's how you want to show interest. You want to show the love part. That's affection. That's attention. That's also respect.
Yeah, that's good.
That's also respect. Of course, you being a woman, you don't need to be opening the door for a man.
Come on.
But I'm just giving you an example. Maybe you cooked for him. Maybe you made his pancakes a certain way, or whatever. Maybe you rubbed his feet. Whatever you did, continue to do it and do more of it.
Yeah. And then Taz, you say always have a date night once a month. I say you have a date night once a week. Once a month is good, but I think once a week is definitely doable. Listen, I think sometime in our relationship, one thing that this quarantine has shown is that we spend too much time doing nothing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Listen to me. A lot of time this quarantine has shown we spend a lot of time doing nothing. We've invested in the wrong things. We've invested in the wrong. It's just the bottom line of the matter. We've invested in, time on stuff that has no fruit. We've invested in, a whole lot of TV. Most people have finished watching everything by the end of 30 days. There was nothing else to do but get to know your spouse. And I put on my Facebook status that the courts were turning people away, because there were a lot of people filing for divorce. And some probably legitimate, some probably not. It's just over irritation and not knowing and not understanding and not willing to talk it out and work it out and push through. And so I think if anything this quarantine has taught us is resilience as couples. I hope that you have learned being in a relationship that is going to take more than lip service. It's going to take you really willing to push from another place in you and make you realize who you are for real.
Yeah.
Because if anything in this quarantine, you've had to learn who you are.
Yeah. Well,
are you full of caca?
Caca.
Or are you not? Come on, you got to be honest. At some point, like I said, you got to be self-aware. Do you play a lot of games or you don't? Are you taking this seriously? Are you not?
Yeah. Well, like you said, you mentioned lip service. We have to get past the lip service now. That's good. Now it gets to the heart.
Yeah.
The quarantine has shown hearts. Hearts have been exposed through this quarantine, through this pandemic, through this pandemic of not just sickness, but pandemic even of injustice.
Yep. Come on.
We've seen the hearts of people,
companies.
I mean, like, oh my, like, I can't believe such and such said that. I can't believe this person feels like that. It took God to allow everything to be shut down from entertainment, sports, TVs, shows, church services, you name it, everything, restaurants, everything that had our attention, distractions. Now you're able to see who's who for who they really are. This thing, because let me say this. I think if the pandemic of the COVID-19 never happened, I think with the George George Floyd incident, I don't think it would have been as big as it was. Because listen to what I'm about to tell you. If COVID-19 would have never happened, you would have had people at work.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't be seeing a lot of protesting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just keep it real, because they would have been at work. Or having to prepare to go to work the next day. You got people out here at 2, 3 in the morning protesting and looting and all that stuff. Schools would have been in session. Mm-hmm. Sports would have been going on right about now.
Mm-hmm.
Playoffs and football season. And just a lot of stuff would have been concerts. Just distractions. So that would have been another black man that died by a white man, and it would have got a little attention, but it never would have got this kind of attention that it's gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So God allowed this to happen to show us our hearts. Let me group that together. Our hearts. It ain't just about the whites or the blacks or the Asians or the Jews or the Hispanics, the Christians, the Buddhists, the evangelicals. It's about all of our hearts. That's why I played that video about what are you seeing? Are you seeing color? Are you seeing race? Or are you seeing what love really is? To make this relationship work in anything, love doesn't hold things. Doesn't hold grudges. Doesn't keep count of, like my wife says, counting cookies. How many times you made a mistake? Love respects. Love is patient. I'm talking about true love. Love is kind. Love ain't just about sex and how sexy you are and, oh, I love you. That's that lip service I was talking about. Oh, I love you. We got to get past I love you, saying it, and actually doing it. We've got away from respect. We've gotten away from respect. We've gotten away from, I'm going to say it, respect. We don't respect each other no more. We bump into each other. We don't say thank you no more. I've been telling when my wife makes food or what, thank you for cooking. We've gotten away from just saying thank you. That's so simple. Thank you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for taking out the time to think about me. Thank you for making that hot dog and chili. Thank you for making that served sandwich or whatever. Thank you for opening my door. Thank you for just being a man. Thank you for being a woman. Thank you for being my wife that cares enough to check me. Thank you for being my husband or boyfriend or girlfriend that helps me get on track. Thank you for being black. Thank you for being white. Thank you for being an Asian. Thank you for your nationality. Just thank you. We don't respect it no more. What it are you talking about? Love. We don't respect love no more. That's why you got all this chaos going on, all this hate in the land. And I'm not going to go spiritual with it. I'm just going to speak straight carnal, secular. So much hate is going on because we don't respect love. We don't respect thank you. We don't respect accountability. We don't respect nothing that has to do with wholesomeness. We've lost it. And this is why so much is going on in our land. This is crazy.
And, one thing I always say is that sometimes we make things about an intelligent thing. I wish I could tell you that doing police reform is going to stop the racism. It's not. It's a heart issue. Police reform is going to hold the intelligence accountable, but the heart is still going to do what it's going to do, if that's what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So at this point, as African Americans, the way I see it, we can't make people love us. We can't make people be okay with us. But what I can do is make sure that at the intelligent level, and that's the reason why we need the reform and we need the rules change. at the intelligent level that you can at least respect who I am as a human being.
Yeah.
And if we can start there with the intelligent level, then perhaps some of that will trickle down to the heart, and it becomes really a heart thing and not just something you have to do, but something that you want to do. And it becomes authentic. And then we can come together on a totally different level. So
what does the word reform mean?
To change.
To change.
Mm-hmm.
So not only does the police need to have change, but we as civilians need to have change. We need to be reformed too.
Yeah, because we've reacted a lot to what they've done, and it's caused some things. Yeah.
There's sometimes the police may just pull us over, just routine traffic stop, and we're so disrespectful to maybe because of what's been going on, so that spirit of fear rises up, and the person may ask, hey, I need to see your license. I ain't got to give you nothing. What's your name? You know what I'm saying? Like, we just get hostile because of what's going on. So we have to learn to reform too. Everybody has to, that word keeps coming back up. The respect. We got to learn to respect each other. Until we do that, we're going to always be going through what we're going through. Common sense, yeah, people need to use more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The heart is the Bible says it's a tricky little thing. And the heart is, we're having heart issues.
Mm-hmm.
What's that thing that they say I got?
Congestive heart failure.
Yeah, that's what we got. We got some congestive heart failure going on. and the medicine that we need to take is the word of God. It's prayer. Amen. I know this is the honest talk, but it's ain't Bible study. But seriously, I call some pastors. I'm like, man, let us. We need to have a prayer rally. The protesting is good. The secular protesting is good, but what about the church? Where are we at? Mm-hmm. Why can't we? Whether you go to St. Martin's or whether you go to Church by the Side of the Road, or you go to Tabernacle, Goodwill, or St. Mary's on the top of the hill, let's all come together. Let's just pray. You may say Hail Marys. I may say Hallelujah. As long as we ain't praying to Satan, we need to come together and pray. See, that's not the problem. We're not unified. Huh? What did you say?
Stop thinking they're lawyers and know the law off Facebook. Well, this is the thing. We can't act like racism doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
We can't act like 400 years of oppression hasn't existed. We can't act like 400 years of mistreatment has existed. We can't act like, Jim Crow didn't happen that long ago, you guys. It really didn't. This is 2020, but I think it happened sometime back in the 60s. It didn't happen that long ago. So one thing about it is we're going to have to come together as a faith community and acknowledge the injustice. We can't do anything without acknowledging that the injustice exists and it happens and we need to change it. But Absolutely. You know what? That's got to be first. That's got to be first. And we as pastors stand at the helm of supporting the Black Lives Matter movement with everything that's within me, and also supporting and rallying around a new movement that I have coming out called the Whole Black Youth, where our Black communities right now have to be rebuilt, have to be healed, have to be loved. And the only way we're going to do that is if we start loving on each other, and some other intricate things have to begin to happen from the inside out so that we can be able to receive and love again other races the way we need to, without the fear, without the, the insecurity, without the reluctance to do so. So there's a couple of things that has to happen. So you guys, we're praying. Please be praying for us. Be praying for our race. Be praying for the people as a whole. And you guys, we thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back here next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the Hunters Talk. We're going to have another amazing conversation. Please make sure you share this broadcast about the rubber band effect. I'm telling you, it'll bless somebody. And I hope that it blessed you on tonight, you guys. So thank you so much for joining in. We're going to be out. Have any last thoughts?
Yeah, my last thought is we're going to play a video a little short snippet of a piece that Lady J did called "Bleed," and it's talking about the injustice in our community. And just look at it, listen to it. We released a song this past week. It is a free download. So if you want to hear the entire song, go to her website, ladyjtmp.com, and download the song for free. And then you can also see the video, which is a PSA, on her website. And it's on YouTube as well, Lady J, TMP, Bleed, PSA. Or just go to the website. You can see everything on the website. But check it out while we gonna bail out. And the official video will be coming out here real soon. We're gonna be shooting that here in a couple weeks. But yes, so y'all check out also the movement that she started, thewholeblackyou.com. That's thewholeblackyou.com, and it's a blog site, and she's doing some amazing blogging. And I'm getting ready to start a show called When Black Kings Speak. And that's gonna what is our first show?
June 20th.
June 20th, which is the Father's Day weekend. Yep. So y'all be watching out for that, When Black Kings Speak. Amen. All right? That's gonna be an amazing show. And so y'all check it out, thewholeblackyou.com, and then y'all check out this video. It's only like a 2 little snippet. So if you want to hear the whole record, go to our website, ladyjtmp.com, download it for free, and check out the whole video. All right? God bless you, and we see you next week. All right? Peace out.
Peace out.
My husband is employed. Yes, he is employed. I make sure my car radio doesn't make the loud booming noise because
I don't want to wake you.
Our black men feel haunted. Black women taunted. Black children uncertain. Black fathers still crying. Shh. Listen.
Black men are still more likely to die in police custody than their white counterparts. Spike Moss has been an activist in Minnesota since 1966.
Our people been watching this over and over again. Our young people don't even know how long we've been fighting because the news suppresses the message. They're tired. They're tired of being abused, tired of being beaten, tired of being killed.
We don't need guns if we know how to love.
We wouldn't.
We don't need cameras if we had trust.
I gotta keep filming.
I bleed like you. I bleed like you.
I do.
You bleed like me.
You bleed like me. You
We
do.
don't need guns if we know how to love.
We wouldn't.
We don't need cameras if we had trust.
I won't stop filming.
See, I bleed like you. I bleed like you.
I do.
You bleed like me.
You bleed like me. You do.
I thought you wouldn't stop me if my car was just as nice as yours. I thought it would show you just how hard I worked, or
White people.
pull me over and ask for the proper paperwork. You already had an agenda.
Yep.
Knowing I couldn't be as much of a threat to you as you are to me. But that didn't stop you from emptying your clips into me.
No.
Now my running scares you. Whether it's running to you or from you, I can't live. If I follow your command, holding my baby in my hand and still end up dead, I can't live. If I stop and turn around slowly, you are still scared of me. You kill me, kill me, kill me. I can't live.
I can't live.